So in today's session, we are going to discover a bit more about the Tableau, what's inside Tableau, uh, what are the measures and dimensions, how do we sort the data, how do we create charts, how do we filter out the data, how do we create hierarchies, what are hierarchies, all these things are something that we are going to cover in today's session. Okay, so the basic thing where I would like you all to start would be um, the distinction between discrete versus continuous variables here, and what are dimensions and measures. So if we get again, the first three modules are designed in a way, if that's why I'm also deliberately going slow there. So once we get the hold of first three modules, our base would be quite good. In that case, will know how to connect to the data, we know what's inside the data, and we'll know the basic operations that we frequently perform there. So our base would be good once we are done with today's class. I mean this third module will be good on the base end. So that is one thing. So that's why even I was asking about like if people are joining or not, but it's okay. We'll make sure that we'll send a message across telling them that they should go through this particular class. I mean today's class recording before coming to the next class. Also, whatever is required or whatever I'm going to cover in today's class, all the workbooks, packaged workbooks, is something that I've already uploaded in our team's channel there. Okay, so you'll find everything there, whatever I'm going to cover today. Those of you who have Tableau installed in their machines can actually open that up. And those of you don't have, try opening with the public version as well. Okay, all those are the packaged workbooks. I'm quite sure you can open that. Just for your reference sake, anyways, we have everything in the folders there. Also, we are going to cover it in the class, so that would be there in the recording as well. So let me just start with the field values that are there in Tableau. So basically, there are two main field values categorized as a dimension or a measure. Okay, so what are dimensions? My dimensions are my qualitative fields that contain information used to categorize, segment, or filter your data. Okay, for now, I just want you to stick to the first part, that is the categorization there. Okay, so let's say dimension such as a dimension which is a qualitative field. So let's say customer ID. Okay, so each customer ID would be a different one, and that is something that you can use that customer ID to categorize the different customers. Okay, that is one thing. Another example would be some product name, okay, or a product ID. Each product ID would have a different product related to it. So this is the unique identifier for this. In a dimension case, it can be a unique or non-unique as well, but again, it can be a category as well. It can be a string value as well. Okay, like roll number, something like that. Or in this case, as you can see in this example, a row ID. The basic idea would be it would be a qualitative variable. Okay, and it would be usually creating an uh, a pane there, something that I'm going to show you in a while. Okay, rather than creating a aggregate number, it would always be creating a pane there. Okay, and in case of a measure, our measures are quantitative fields or numerical values that can be aggregated. This is important. Okay, you need to understand this difference. So whenever I bring a dimension into my view, it will show me segments or it will show me categories like that. Okay, but whenever I bring my measure into the pane, it will always show me or always come up with an aggregation. Okay, so let's say if it's a profit, so by default Tableau has aggregation defined as sum. Okay, if we want, we can change that aggregation to average as well, median as well, count as well, count distinct as well, something that we are going to explore in a while. Okay, so my measures are qualitative fields, okay, and always come with an aggregation. Yeah, so again, same thing is mentioned. Whenever we drag it to a field, whenever we drag measure into the pane, it will always come up with an aggregation by default. And by default, aggregation is sum here. Okay, so this is an important distinction that you need to be very clear with. My measures are my okay, my dimensions are my qualitative fields. My measures are my quantitative fields. Okay, so this is one concept. Okay, after this, once we explore this, let us come to the next one, that is the discrete versus continuous variables. Okay, again, discrete and continuous are mathematical terms. Okay, and how do you figure out in Tableau? So whenever, okay, I'll just repeat myself once. Um, Whenever you see a pill, okay, this is something that we call as pill. Okay, whenever we see a pill in blue color, by default, it's a discrete variable. Okay, by default it's a discrete variable, and whenever I see a pill in green color, by default it's a continuous variable. Okay, this is an important distinction, but there is one thing that I want you to understand. There is a possibility that there can be a discrete measure as well, and there is a possibility that there can be a continuous, yeah, there can be a continuous dimension as well. Okay, so this one here is a continuous dimension, this one here is a discrete measure. Okay, so it is not necessarily okay. By default, you'll get it like this. You'll always get a uh, in here you can see it's a continuous measure, and in here you can see it's a discrete dimension. By default, you'll get these two. But there can be a possibility whereby, let's say you will convert your sum of profit in this case, which is a continuous measure, into a discrete measure. Okay, just to see it as categorical variables. Let's say you want to analyze the profits there. Okay, how many of the, let's say, customers are on profit 5,000 or 10,000, like that. This is something that you can also do. So again, green measures and dimensions are continuous fields. As you can see in this case, continuous fields are treated as an infinite range. What are, again, mathematical terms, since I told you, treated as an infinite range, and usually such fields add access to the view. Okay, again, very important thing, something that we are going to see in a while. Blue measures and dimensions are discrete fields. Okay, and discrete are treated as finite, and generally discrete fields add headers to the view. Okay, so this is an important distinction. This will add access to the view, and this will add headers to the view. Okay, something that we are going to see now. Again, I don't want you to confuse between these two concepts. Okay, dimensions and measures are a different concept. Okay, not necessarily every dimension would be a discrete one. We just saw here this is a continuous dimension. Okay, and not necessarily every measure would be a continuous one. We saw here this is a discrete measure. Okay, so these are four different things. Okay, first two are is a different topic: dimension, qualitative variables, measures, aggregated variables, numbers. And discrete variables, whenever you see, again, have an finite range and they appear in blue color, and continuous variable have an infinite range and appear in green color. Okay, are we clear with this? If anyone hasn't understood it, just let me know. I'll move only if we all are clear with this part. Are we good with this?
Yeah, Abhishek.
Okay, 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 let me just okay, so let us just quickly so I have to every time switch between this because we are recording it. So Um, okay. Yeah, let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. So in here, as you can see now on the left part here, all these variables that you see, okay, in here your table is mentioned and all the fields from the tables are mentioned on the left. Okay, so all these fields that you are seeing before this particular line are my dimensions, and all these fields that you are seeing after this line are my measures. Okay, so by default, as I told you, all your blue pills are your discrete variables. Okay, and all your green pills are your continuous variables. Okay, but in here, since I've taken one, so what I've done is, so whatever the sales variable here is, I have converted it to a, okay, I have the option to create it to discrete. I have converted it to a discrete variable. Okay, not here, the next one. So this is something that I've already created as a discrete variable. Okay, if I want, I can convert it back to the continuous one. How can we identify that? With this green color. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? Let me just quickly show you that. Okay, so let's say I have market with me. I'll put it in columns. And if I put my continuous sales here, as you can see, it is coming up with an aggregation here. Okay, just to make it a better view. Yeah, it is coming up with an aggregation here. Sum of sales continuous. But let's say instead of this, had I put my discrete variable here, okay, so it is giving me just an, yeah, just the values there. Okay, whatever values I was getting earlier, it is just giving me those values. Okay, that I was getting earlier in the graph form. Now it is giving me in the tabular form. If I want, I can just convert it back. Let me see if we can do it from here. If not from here, I think we can do it from here. Yeah, make it continuous. I'll get my graph back. Okay, if I put it here, this is the same graph, or maybe now you can see this is the same graph that we had. Okay, in here I have this option of swapping, sorting. Okay, I'm just using that. This is enabling the text, disabling the text. Okay, so this is one important thing that I wanted you guys to figure out. Okay, as we can see, all measures. If I put anything like sum of profit as well here, it's coming as by default sum aggregation. If I want, I can change this aggregation. Okay, I have this option of measure sum to average as well, or maybe to median, or again, I have other options as well. You have all of these. You can just again try it out. Okay, any questions on this?
No, Abhishek, go ahead.
Okay, okay, okay. Let me just uh, then move into the okay. We have this distinction clear between measure and a dimension. Okay, and same way again. See, okay, there is one more thing that I want you to understand. Okay, I have this date part here. Okay, so by default, this date is my discrete date. As how can we identify? As this is green in color. Okay. Oh, sorry, as this is blue in color. Okay. Let's say if I want to convert it to continuous here. Okay, so Tableau gives me option. Whenever I click on this small down arrow here, I have a lot of options here. Okay, first I have year, quarter, month, day option, and more again weekday number and weekday. Again, I have this year, quarter, month, week number, day, and more option here. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? The first five that you are seeing are my discrete dates. And the next five that you are seeing are my continuous date. I'll tell you how it works. So let me just put in maybe profit here. Okay, and let me just change it to bar here. Okay, from my mark shelf, I have selected the bar here. And let me also put on the text. So again, all these are best practices. Put on your text, make sure your data is sorted. All these are best practices while creating a visualization or exploring the data. Okay, now let us, as I can see, this is blue in color. Okay, so this is my discrete date here. Okay, discrete discrete dimension here right now. Let's say if I want to expand this and make it a quarter view. Again, I can see this plus symbol here in front of it. That implies that this is my it has an hierarchy. Again, what is an hierarchy we'll see in a while. And again, if I put on again click on this plus button, I get a month view. Again, if I click on this, I get a day view. Okay, so this is all my discrete dates here. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? I'll tell you. Let's say if I change this to continuous date here. In the case of year, it would be almost same, but in case of month, um, okay. So in just a second, yeah. So when you see the difference between this continuous date and this date here, you'll find out that this is giving me the aggregation of everything. Okay, so I think with the month view, you'll understand better. So let me just get to the month view and then you'll understand better what I'm trying to say. So this is my month-wise analysis. And let me just duplicate this sheet. And instead of this here, let me select this month here. Okay, now you can see the distinction what I'm trying to say. So if you closely observe in the first case, when it's a discrete date, so it is giving me January total for all the dates there, for all the years of January. Okay, wherever, let's say if there are 4 years and 4 Januaries are there, so it is giving me aggregation of all those four. You can just check it out here as well. So this one is 8,000. Okay. Uh, so if you see these four months total now for January 2012, January 2013, January 2014, January 2015, you can see the total is coming out to be 73,440. And if you see in here, this is the same total 73,440. Similar would be the case for February, March, and all other months there. So whenever I use a continuous month here, okay, I basically create a timeline. Okay, it starts from that particular month of a particular year likewise. And whenever I select the month from here, it will basically create the categories. Okay, so that is the biggest difference here. In the first case, in this case, it will give you all the months values there. And in the second case, it will give you month for a particular year. So that continuation is maintained. So this is the difference between a discrete month in this case and a continuous month in our second case. Are we clear with this? Or anyone wants me to repeat on this or any other questions you guys have? Okay, okay, okay. Again, one more thing. I just want you to walk you through this. Again, I don't want you to, uh, get completely into it. Okay, so again, whenever I bring in any continuous field, so this is basically a dashboard here. Okay, something that we'll do in our later set of sessions. So I've just got the sheets here and two text boxes here just for our understanding, so that we can just go through it. So if you see here, bringing a continuous field such as profit would create an axis, whereas bringing a discrete field such as market into the view create panes with labels. So these are my labels here, and these are my panes. Okay, so that is one distinction there that I wanted to just bring out. So if you see sum of profit here, it has created an axis here, bringing this. Had I created, instead of this, had I gotten, let's say, category here, it has created the panes here. That is the distinction I just want you to understand. Nothing more than that here. Okay. Or let's say if I bring in, instead of this, let me just bring in region here. It will create this these panes here is something that I wanted you guys to understand. Okay. And the second thing I think we have already seen in here, since we got market here, you can see, okay, we have these panes created here. Instead of market, had we got profit here, okay. Again, since this is in size, let me just remove this. And instead of square, let me just select bar. So we'll get the actual numbers here. This distinction I want you to understand. Are we good with this? Okay. So this is again just a small distinction that I wanted you to understand, that bringing a continuous field would create an axis, as we just saw. Just by removing, you can just see it. Okay. And like once we get it, we have the profit here, we have the axis, and getting the discrete field would give us the panes here. Okay, as we have the markets here. Again, small distinction just for your clarity sake, like whatever is happening in a measure field or a discrete or continuous field or a measure or dimension field, something that I want you to understand. Okay, let us now see how the coloring differs in the two cases. Okay, so let's say, okay, so this is some visualization that I've created. I have created month-wise sum of profit here. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is, so if you remember, I showed you the sales continuous and sales discrete earlier. Okay, what I did is, in this case, I already had a sales variable like this without the continuous being mentioned there. I just duplicated that variable. Okay, I just renamed it like sales discrete. Okay, and I then converted it to the discrete variable. This is how I did it. Okay, now I'll show you the difference between the two when you put both of them to the colors part. So this is my mark shelf, this is my colors part here. So when you put sales discrete in the colors part, effectively, since it's a category now, for every category, as you can see, this is my category. These were my values earlier, as you can see. Okay, so for every category, there will be a so for every category there will be a new color that would be created. Okay, since every category is represented by it's a since it's a dimension now, so every category is represented with one color here. Okay, let me just go back to this one and show you. If I put discrete one in the colors, you have different colors for every category. But in case of continuous one, when I put this into the color, I'll get a gradient. Okay, so wherever there are highest number of sales, you can see that would be more blue in color. Okay, and wherever there is less number of sales, it would be the lightest in color. So it has effectively created a gradient here. So this is what happens when you put measures and uh, dimensions, or oh, sorry, in this case continuous or discrete variables in the colors field. Okay, so the continuous would give me a gradient and the discrete would give me a different color time on different colors here. Okay, any questions on this?
No, Abhishek.
Okay, okay. So I'm just again going a bit fast here because I think this is a relatively simple concept, and but again at the same time important one as well, because this is the main distinction, and if you understand this, then this is something that again your fundamental wise you will be very good there. Again, so the data types, sorry, the date types here is something that we have already seen, something that we just saw when we were doing this particular part here. Okay, so instead of this, in this case, we have the line chart here. So it's exactly the same thing, month, and then I have sum of sales continues. So this is my discrete month, as you can see. If I change it to this month, okay, then I have something like this. Okay, and again, if you see the other one, that is the discrete dates, it is same thing. If I remove year, you'll see the same thing. Okay, so again, you can see both of them are same. In the second case, I have just removed the year from the first part. So let me just get back the year here. Okay, so this is how it was doing it. Again, 4 different years, 4 different timelines there. And in the first part, as you can see, I had only month here. Okay, I converted it to discrete. Let me change it back to the continuous one. Now you can see I have the month in the same way it was there earlier. Okay, so this is how it looks like in the case of a continuous one and in the case of a discrete one. Okay, something that we saw quite elaborately in these two figures here. Okay, the main idea is you need to understand the first one contains the sum total. This contains the total of all the January months for all the years. Okay, so that's how it has been created here. Same thing, it's been done here. So even if you see this part 676 789. Okay, if I go to this sheet again and click on all Januaries there, so you'll get the same here 676 789. 676 789. Okay, so this distinction is important to understand the difference between the continuous dates and the discrete dates. Okay. Okay, then let me just quickly move on to the filtering part. Again, I just want you to understand the concepts for now. Okay, again, filtering, what is sorting, something that we are going to see in detail anyways. But for now, I just want you to understand what we are doing rather than how we are doing. I just want you to understand what we are doing. Okay. So in here, I have my category wise sum of sales in the first part of the pane and category wise sum of profit in the second part of the pane. Okay. So this is what I have created. This is my first visualization. Okay, category wise, I just got categories here. Then I got sum of sales, continuous one. Then I got sum of profit here. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to filter on this particular data. This is my filter shelf used for filtering the data. So now let me just come here and you can see I have put in a market filter here. Okay, so let me just open this. I've already put in here. So I'll again show you how to put it. So I'll just edit this filter for now. And as you can see, I have selected only Asia Pacific and Europe markets. Okay, so if I select, let's say, Latin America as well and click on apply here, so I want you to see that all these numbers will change now. For they will update, including the Latin market as well. So let me just click on apply. Okay, as you can see, it has changed. Let's say I just want to see for only Asia Pacific, I can do that. As you can see, these numbers have changed. Let's say I want to see for Asia Pacific and Africa, I can select only those two, and these numbers have changed. Okay, so whenever I filter using a discrete variable or discrete field, okay, I get the option to choose like this in terms of categories. Okay, so if I just remove it from here and again try to put the market there and select Asia Pacific and Europe, you can see the numbers changing, all of them. Okay, all of those numbers have changed. So the basic idea is whenever we are filtering on discrete variable, we'll get the categories and we'll get the selections to select there whichever category we want to select. But whenever we are filtering on continuous variables, as you can see in here, let me just open this again, edit filter. So in here I have this option of range of values, at least, at most, special, something that we are going to discuss anyways in detail. But before that, I just want you to understand this. So wherever my profit is above 5 lakh, it will show me only those markets. So as you can see, everywhere the profit is above 5 lakhs here. Okay, that's why it is showing me only these values. If I remove this, you can see my original visualization is restored. What I created here, exactly the same. Let me get back in profit here and let me just, again, sum of values. Let me try with this, where sum of values is, again, I can put in a range as well. Let's say 0 or not, or let me just take the at least example only, or at most example only. Okay, at least only. Let me just get back to 5 lakh. So wherever profit is above 5 lakh, I want to see those. So now as you can see, wherever it is above 5 lakh, I can see those. If I make it to 4 lakh, if I make it to 5 lakh 50,000, then this office supplies profit should go from here. And maybe this one should also go because again, let me just check. I think so that should also go. Yeah. So only one with more than 5 lakh 50,000 profit is remaining now. If I make it to more than 6 lakh 63 now, then even this should go, right? So this is how I filter out based on my continuous variables. Any questions on this? Anyone, any question? No questions from anyone?
No, Abhishek.
Okay, okay. Mm, okay. I think let us take a quick break here for, or maybe should I continue? Yeah, let me just continue with one more topic and then we can take the break. Meanwhile, can you just tell me if you are able to see my workbook with hierarchy as the title? Can someone confirm which of my workbook is visible? Are you able to see my hierarchy workbook?
Currently, it says Tableau understanding PIL types.
Okay. Again, I need to share it again. Okay, just a second. Yeah, I think it would be visible now, right?
Tableau hierarchy.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, okay. Even before that, actually, let me just Bit sorry about that. Yeah, I think this is something that we have covered. And hierarchies are basically, again, in the context of data, hierarchies are basically our logical arrangements of, again, in this case, relevant unique attributes in a data set. So it can be a built-in hierarchy like year one, okay, year, quarter, month, day, and it can be a customer one, customized one like category, subcategory, subcategory, or subcategory like that. Okay, so there are two ways in which we can create hierarchies in Tableau. First one is the custom hierarchy. Okay, that way again, like I told you, I can just take category and subcategory from my view, and I can create a hierarchy on it, top of it. And why would it be used? It would be used for drilling down into a different view. Okay, just to drill down at a different level of granularity or a different level of detail. Okay,
So
that's what.
Abhishek,
Yeah,
is it
yes, sir.
over and beyond what database provides us? Can we do it at a Tableau level again? Like,
Yeah, so again, I didn't get your question completely
see,
there.
suppose the database itself is defined with hierarchies. Whatever we are seeing right now, like the product has got a category, category has got a subcategory, like that.
Yeah.
Can we do it if it is not defined at a database level? Can we bring in a product as a table and then define the hierarchies at a Tableau level?
Yeah, we are doing it at Tableau
Yeah,
level only. We are doing
that
it at
was
a
my
Tableau
question.
level only. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So whatever would be the data in the database there would be anyways at the most granular level,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So whenever when we have that data, we can just manually create the hierarchy there, and something that we are just going to see. Let me just finish this slide, and we are going to see how we can create that.
Sure, sure. Okay.
So one is a custom hierarchy. All we have to do is just select the variables that are there, then just rename that particular hierarchy. And again, we can just put in simply into our view, and then we can just click on plus symbol there in order to see a more granular view of the data. And again, yeah, so the basic idea about the granularity is the drilling down feature. Okay. Again, from let's say category to subcategory, as you are seeing in your screen. Again, if I want, I can just expand it, or I can reverse it there and see it at a technology level. And again, that is one thing. Uh, yeah. So let me just, I think you'll understand it better. Let me just show in the Tableau workbook there. Just a second. Yeah. So the first one would be my built-in hierarchy. Okay. As we have already seen this one. So let me just put in year of order date there, or maybe just simply the order date there. And let me just put, for the simplicity sake, let me just put sales here, or rather, let me just put profit here. Okay, now if you see, when expand on this, again, this is my built-in hierarchy that would always be there on my date variables here. When I click on this, I'll get the quarter wise analysis there. When I click on this, I'll get the month wise analysis there. When I click on this, I'll get the day wise analysis there. So with every click, the granularity is getting increased. Okay, by granularity, I mean the level of detail of the view. Okay, from year to quarter, quarter to month, month to day, we can have the most granular view inside Tableau. Okay, so these are my built-in hierarchies. Again, the why it is used, just for the drilling down purpose in order to understand your data better. So this is the again the built-in hierarchy. Second would be my custom hierarchy there. So what would be my custom hierarchy? If you see in here, I have already created an hierarchy, and whenever you see a hierarchy, it comes up with this particular symbol here. Okay, this hierarchical symbol here. Okay, which is again drilling from top to bottom. Okay, and in here, before making you see how I have created this, let me just show you how to remove it first. I can just simply right click, or maybe just this small down arrow here. I can just click on that and click on remove hierarchy. And now let's say if I want to create an hierarchy, all I have to do is, let's say, click on category, press control, click on subcategory. Now I can just right click on this, go to hierarchy and select create hierarchy from here. Now I can just rename it like category hierarchy here and click on OK. Now you can see a category hierarchy is created, and as you can see, a plus symbol. Okay, this is for the country. Okay, let me just get one new one. I can just place this category hierarchy here, and then I can put in the profit here. Okay, as I can see it now. Let me just expand it a bit. As you can see, furniture, office supplies, or let me just swap these rows. Furniture, office supplies, and technology. Or this is my profit from these specific categories. If I want to see it further, drill it down further at a subcategory level, all I have to do is just click on this small plus. And now you can see, okay, it has been further drilled down to the subcategory level now. Okay, so category wise, so what is the advantage here? As we can see in this case as well. So category wise, all three of them had profits here. Okay, all three of them were profitable. But when I clicked on the plus symbol here, I got to know, okay, in the category furniture, tables is one with this amount of losses. Okay, which would might not be possible if we only had the categorical view there. So that is the advantage of using a hierarchy there. Okay, so yeah, this is how my category and subcategory works in a hierarchy. If I want, I can create, let me just create one more hierarchy. I think I've already created this country, state, and city wise hierarchy. I've already created it. Again, the same way, just need to click on country, then state, and then again pressing the control part. Whenever you want to do multiple selections in Tableau, just remember that we have to press control and then select. So let me just try with one more, maybe um, segment, and I think market is there, right? Market is there. So let me just try to create this hierarchy here. I'm not sure whether this will work or not. Okay, I have put it in this only. Okay, just a second. Yeah, I can click on market, then press control on segment, and then hierarchy, add to hierarchy, or create new hierarchy. I'll create a new one. Okay, and let me just see if I can get something out of this. So I have my market first, and then if I, let me just swap the axis. If I drill it down further to segment, I can see for every particular market, I have for every particular segment, I have my data here. Okay, so this is again one more way of drilling it down. Again, one more variable that I've seen as an hierarchy here. So I can just create the custom hierarchies like that. Okay. Also, when we are talking about hierarchies, there is also one more thing that we should know, called as custom fields there. Just give me a moment. Let me just, I think that was in some other slide. Yeah, so basically it's all about combining two fields. Okay, so again, creating a hierarchy and combining two fields are two different things. Okay, let me just remove this hierarchy here. Or let me just combine these two fields now. Same way. Okay, create combined field. Okay, now I have a combined field here. Now if I put this one in the columns here, And if now I get the profit here, mm, not here, but here. And let me just swap it so that you can see it better. So this way I have just combined this particular field. Okay. See, you are getting the same insight here, what you were getting from earlier from the hierarchy when hierarchy symbol was here. But now it has been combined as a field. It is telling me in the African market for the consumer segment, this is my sales. In here also this was telling me the same thing, but in here I had the option to expand or collude this thing. Okay. Oh, sorry, collapse this thing. So in here I had that option when I had this hierarchy there. So that is the only difference between combining fields and hierarchy, creating an hierarchy. Okay, again, important thing that I want you to understand. Any questions on this? Okay. Also, if you want to search a particular field, all you have to do is just click here and let's say I want to search profit here. I'll get the profit. Or let's say I want to search product here. I'll get the product. All those with the product inside them, I'll get it. Okay, so this is how you can search your fields. The last thing I want to cover before we go into the break would be the granularity and aggregation relationship. Okay, so granularity by definition, okay, it's the level of view that is there on the pane here. Okay, so if I have sum of profit here, I have it on the category level, as you can see. Okay, let me just swap it. So that you can see it better, and let me just also make it entire view. So if you see now here, uh, granularity. So this view is at what granularity? At the granularity of category. Okay, I have the sum of profit at the level of category. Okay, but let's say if I want to go into a more granular level, okay, a more level of detail into from category, yeah, from category to subcategory. So as soon as I went into a more granular view, a more level of detail there, okay, the less would be my aggregation. As you can see earlier, it was aggregated more. Okay, all these numbers, if you see all these numbers in here that you see, let's say in case of furniture, okay, they are aggregated. If you see, the total is 2,85,083. If I collapse it, 2,85,083. So in here, when my granularity was less, okay, my aggregation was more. Okay, and when my granularity becomes more, my aggregation became less. This is something that I want you to understand. So this is at less granular view, but a more aggregated one. Okay, okay. I have just I mean named it incorrectly here. This is at more granular view. Let me just change it. Okay, that's my bad. This is at more granular view, and this is at less aggregate level. Okay, and okay. Okay, that's not a mistake. Okay, I have two views here, no? So that is the thing. Yeah. So this is at more granular view and less aggregated here. And again, if you see this one is at less granular view and more aggregated here. Okay. So granularity basically means the level of detail of my view. At this point, I am at category level, category level of granularity. So when I'm at category level of granularity, I have more aggregation there. When I go from category to subcategory, that is more granular level view, I get it as the less aggregation there. Okay. More granular means more deep view there. You can understand it like this. When I go into more depth, I get less aggregation there. Has to be that way, right? Okay. And the final thing again, any question on this? Anyone not clear about granularity aggregation relationship?
Ah, it's fine, Abhishek.
Okay, so let me just cover this final thing and then we can go into the break. Okay, so in here I have the thing called as highlighting. Uh, so whenever I want to highlight a particular thing in my chart, I can use the highlighting feature. So in here, I think I've already created this. So, so this is the way I can create a highlighting feature in this in my Tableau worksheet. I can just simply go to this highlight and whichever way I want to do it, I can create it. If I do it on year, so whenever I click on year, that year would be highlighted. All the values from that year. If I want to make it at quarter level, let's say if I want to make it at quarter level, then I can do it like this. If I click on any one of this, any particular quarter, that quarter in every year would be highlighted. Okay, if I do it on third one, all third one would be highlighted. If I want to do a multiple third and fourth, then I need to press control and third and fourth, and maybe let's say second, third and fourth. So this is how I can do my highlighting part here. Okay, again, very simple, fairly simple topic. Just wanted you to introduce it to you. Okay, any questions? Okay, okay, no questions. Yeah,
Okay.
anyone, any question? Okay. Mm, in that case, let me just move on to the our next topic, that is sorting in Tableau. Okay. Mm, okay. So sorting, as the name suggests, basically it's an arrangement of the data. Okay, so you have the option to sort it in ascending order, in descending order, or you have the option to manually sort your data. Also, you can in Tableau, it gives you two more options like sorting by a particular field and then sorting it using a nested sort. Okay, so as the name suggests here, sorting. So the first one is sort using the axis part. As you can see, this is my axis here. So I've just taken a region and sum of sales here. Okay, mostly in all of these, I've taken the same visualization, region and the sum of sales. Okay, so I have my regions here on my x-axis, and then my sum of sales is represented on the y-axis. So the first one is sort using the axis here. So I have this option on my y-axis here, a small chart that you can see. Okay, so if you click on it, that will give you ascending or the descending sort, or this is the original one that is restored. Okay, so if I click once, I'll get my descending sort. If I click it again, I get my ascending sort. If I click again, I'll get back my original sort, which in this case is basically sorted by the data source order, and which in turn in this case is done through the alphabetical order, as you can see here. Okay, but let me just sort it descending in descending order. Okay, so this is how I can sort using my axis. The next one would be sort using the toolbar here. Okay, so this is how I can do it, sort using the toolbar. Basically, as I told you in the previous class, this is my toolbar here. I have the option of the first one is my ascending sort. If I click on this, I'll get the ascend sort. If I click back on this, I get the descend sort. Okay, so these are for my quick references here. I can use these two here. Okay, both are doing the same work. It's just the method of doing it would be a bit different. Okay, so in the first case, it was through the axis here. In the second case, it is through the toolbar here. Third one is sort using pills, that is this one, we call them as pills. If you remember from the previous class, we call them as pills. And once I click on this, I get the option here to sort, clear sort. Okay, so let me just go into the sort part, and now you can see in here I get 5 options. One is data source order, then I have alphabetical order. In this case, my data source and alphabetical order are same. Okay, because in my data source it is stored in the alphabetical order only, so in this case both of them are same. And in the field part, uh, again I'll come back to it. Let's first see the manual part here. So in the manual sort, as the name suggests, manually you can drag and drop all of these. So let's say I want to see this Oceania as the first one. So let me just click on this Oceania. Either I can just make it go up like this. Okay, you can see that bar moving, or I can just simply click on this and it will come on the top. Or else I can just click on it and drag it wherever I want. Okay, let's say if I want to make it see here, I can just drag it like that. Okay, same thing. If I, let's say North America, I want at the end, just click on that, click here, it will go at the end. Okay, sorry, North Africa, not America. Let's say I want Southern US on top, I can just click on it. Or let's say if I want to move it 3 step further, I can just click on this arrow 3 times and it will come in that particular order. So manually I can do the sorting part. Okay, this would be different from my data source order and my uh, alphabetical order here. Again, sometimes it is where it is useful. Let's say when you are extracting the uh, data, or let's say when you are extracting the report in terms of a particular, you want it in a particular order. In that case, it is quite useful while extracting those reports. So that is one of the use cases for this. Okay. Any questions on these three? Anyone, any question? Okay, let me just move on to the field one now. Okay. Okay, so the fourth option that we have here is sorting from the, okay, in here I have nested selected. Okay, let me just give me a moment. I think this is the field one. Not sure. Just let me check. Oh, okay, both are nested. Okay, so in the case of sorting with the field, so we can just simply select the field option here. And again, we have the option of ascending or descending, wherever, whichever way we want to do it. And in this case, we basically sort it on the basis of the field value there. So in this case, I have sum of sales that I've placed it in the rows, and I want it to be sorted on the basis of the sum of sales only. So I can just simply select sales, and the aggregation that I want to select it on, in this case sum, had it been average. Okay, had it been average, let's say had it been average here. See, this is still sorted as sum of sales only. But let's say we want to sort it based on the average now. So we can change it to average, and now you can see all of them are in the descending sort based on their averages. Okay, so this is how you can sort using a field. Okay, so yeah, this is for the field part here. Anyone, any questions on this? Any questions? Okay. Then the final one is the nested sorting, which is the most important one here. So basically my nested sort is a sort within a sort. Okay, so in this case, if you see, all these values are sorted here, but not only these values, if I remove the region from here, you can see even the market is also sorted here based on the sum of sales. Okay, so it is basically a sort within a sort. So if I just click here and click on sort, I can select the nested option and I can select the descending option. So if I select the ascending option, the first one would be Africa, that would come here. Okay. Okay, just a second. Okay, I think I have already sorted it here as well. Yeah, that's why it was not coming. Or maybe I can just remove this sort and try with region was there, right? Okay, let me just try with the sort here. Yeah, as you can see now, even Africa is coming first. And when I select it to descending, USCA would come first. Uh, okay, I think then in that case, okay, I think then we have to do this as well here. Yeah, we have to sort this value as well. Yeah, now it's coming up. Maybe let me select descending one. The other way you can do it would be on the basis of field, and you can just individually go into the field part for both of these and you'll get this part. Okay, you can individually go into the field part in the sort and you should get this. Okay, so this is how we do a nested sort, which is nothing but the sort within a sort. Okay, so what I mean here is not only these regions are sorted here, but also these markets are something that are sorted here. So if I remove here, you can see even the markets are sorted. Okay, so sort within a sort. Any questions on this? Anyone, any questions on this? Okay, then the final word would be sort using the headers part here. So in here again, I have taken category and then subcategory, and then I have dropped my sum of sales on the columns, and then I have dropped my categories on my colors here. Okay, so category I can pick it up from here, drop down colors. Now I wanted to do a sort, so how can I do it? I have this option here. Okay, so first of all, if you see, I'll again, this would be again a nested sort. First I'll sort my categories. Okay, so this is descending, I guess. This is descending, and then I can sort my categories, subcategories from here. Okay, just a second. Yeah. Okay, so the same way we have done it there, the nested sort in the first one, same thing we are doing it here, but now we have category and subcategory instead of the market and region here. Okay, so even if I remove the subcategory here, and let me just change this to again field to sum of sales. Okay, you can see highest number of sum of sales is technology. And if I get in subcategory as well now, and I want to do it from here again, field sum of sales. So for technology, you can see these are my variables here. So just to make it more clear, let me just make it to entire view here. So as you can see now, technology has highest number. Now even if I remove this, you can see technology has highest numbers, then furniture, then office supplies. And within this, if I want to see subcategories as well, this is how I can get it. Okay, so in here we are doing it from the headers. So we have the option of headers as well. So we have the option of using access, using toolbars, using pills. Uh, again, then we have the fourth option is using headers. And under the using pills, we have option of manually, field, and nested. All three of them. Any questions on any part you didn't get under the sorting head? Anyone, any question on this?